Hey, you guys, Casey Farlow here, registered dietitian and healthy hormone weight loss expert. And today I'm interviewing another healthy hormone weight loss client. Her name is Holly. She's incredible. So, Holly was going through perimenopause and really wanted to prepare her body going into menopause to really be able to live her best life, have energy, sleep well, and lose weight. So she had done a lot of restrictive dieting in the past and had lost a lot of weight, but then she would gain it all back. And she really explains like what are those things that make this program different and what are the things that you need to focus on in perimenopause to optimize your health. We also have a cheat sheet right below. You can click on the link, put in your email, and it will be sent straight to your inbox of the main tips you need to focus on through perimenopause and menopause. And if you're interested in joining my group program, there's also a link to book a call with me, and we can just chat and see if healthy hormone weight loss will be a good fit for you. So let's meet Holly. Introduce you guys to Holly. She's been an incredible client in the healthy hormone weight loss program. She is really a testament that you can thrive through perimenopause and beyond. And I love sharing these client stories because I really want to give all of you guys hope that no matter where you're starting from, you really truly can feel amazing and feel your best even through your 40s, 50s, 60s, and even beyond that. So Holly, welcome. I'm so excited you're able to do this today.
Well, thank you for having me. I
For sure.
appreciate it. I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Well, Holly, kind of tell me, like walking back to 3 months ago before we started, what was going on? What made you kind of reach your hand out for help? What symptoms were you having? Kind of where were you with like your weight loss and everything?
Well, I was struggling to lose, and I had done fitness programs where, I was doing crazy workouts and pretty intense cardio type of workouts or calisthenics. There was a lot of jumping and I could get through them, but it was a lot of work. I was doing them at least like 5 days a week. And then I was sticking to just a certain calorie count during the day. And it seemed like I did lose some weight. However, after I finished the plan, it didn't last. And I tended to just kind of slowly put those pounds back on that I had lost. So I was really feeling defeated and frustrated. And being in perimenopause, going into that menopause phase, I just really felt that I needed to balance my hormones. I knew that was going to be key for losing weight, was getting those hormones balanced. So that was the precursor for me to join your program, was finding a hormone expert such as yourself
Mhm.
to help along with the journey. And so that was one of my reasons, was originally trying to get the weight off and get those hormones balanced and helping with some of the symptoms of perimenopause.
Sure. So how was my program different from these crazy kind of restrictive diets that you've been on that you saw results, right? But they weren't really sustaining and you gained all the weight back. Why do you think this time might be different and what has been different about my program?
Well, several things. One is knowing the protein amounts to eat. I'd never heard that before for somebody my age in the stage of life I'm in. I had no idea that I would needed a certain amount of protein per meal. That wasn't really told to me ever. Also, the difference is it was much easier. I felt I didn't have to do crazy workouts. As much as I do love to work out, I really enjoyed being able to just do a 30-minute power walk a day. And I would do that about 5 days a week because I do hike on the weekends, and just hitting those protein goals with each meal. And it slowly came off. It was, you don't have to worry about, oh, we all want fast weight loss. We all want the 20 pounds in, 5, 6 weeks and whatnot. But you're putting your body through a lot of crazy stuff when you do that. And then afterwards, the results typically don't stick. So I think this is much more sustainable, losing it slower. It stays off. You know what to eat. And I didn't have to weigh food. I didn't have to, I mean, you can in the beginning to make sure you're getting the proper ounces and staying within your calorie range. However, now I just kind of eye it. I kind of know how much protein I need, add in your fiber and have that healthy fat. And that's what I do. It's just so much easier. It was much easier than most other plans that I've done.
Yeah.
Pretty much every plan I've done, I could say for sure was much easier.
Sure. Yeah. Have you had any mindset shifts along the way? Like, have you noticed, because I know you kind of come from that background of like, you need to have low calories, you need to do these like crazy restrictive diets, you need to work out, high intensity is the only thing that really moves the needle, which I think is a big misconception for most women, is that like walking is actually exercise, you guys. Like walking alone is huge. But people think, well, if I'm not lifting weights and if I'm not like sweating like crazy, then it doesn't count. Has your mindset kind of shifted around exercise and around diet along the way?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. I would say for me, I always thought I had to do, a certain amount of a real hardcore workout, which, a HIIT workout or weights, and weights are good, which is okay once in a while. But you don't have to do that, hours a day to get to your goals. You can do it through a 30-minute power walk or a 30-minute moving your body program. Like last night, I swam 30 laps in my pool. That was my workout.
Good for you.
So,
yeah. Just moving your
it.
body and getting back to basics, right? Like our bodies biologically aren't necessarily made to do crazy HIIT workouts all the time. Although in perimenopause, I do recommend strength training. But if you do strength training twice a week and then just walk the rest of the week, I mean, that's how you optimize your hormones. So it doesn't, again, have to be kind of that crazy intense workout. So what about my program do you think made the biggest difference for you? Like if you could name one thing that you started to implement and you could tell your best friend, like this is the one thing you need to really focus on to have healthy hormones and to start to move the needle, what would it be?
It would be the protein.
Yeah.
Making sure you're getting minimum of 20 grams protein per meal. When I started doing that, even 20 or more, that's when I started seeing the results happen. I had been kind of practicing it ahead of time. But once I really started doing that, and it might take the first, month, I may not have lost much in that first month, but once you start doing that, then you will consistently see, believe I consistently saw weight loss every week. If it was a pound and a half, whatever, sometimes half a pound. I think maybe once I stayed the same, but that could have been my own doing from maybe a mini binge or something. But I would say that was the biggest for me, was hitting my protein goals at each meal, and even your snacks, mixing that, whether it's a protein and a healthy fat, or protein and a fiber, or a fiber and one of those. That was the game changer, I believe, for me.
Yeah. For sure. That protein is so essential in perimenopause. Do you remember the other things that were really important in perimenopause that we've talked about? I have it I'll have a link to the menopause cheat sheet below this video so you guys can check it out. But I wanted to quiz Holleigh and see if she remembers, what were those other things that were really important? I'll help you out too, but what were those other things that were important during perimenopause and menopause that somebody maybe in their 20s doesn't have to like be super focused on? So we said the protein.
The morning sun, getting that vitamin D, that was the big one. Sometimes I just go sit out there and have my coffee, just to get that sun, or if it's too hot to do a walk, or I'll get out and just do the walk in the sun. So you get that morning sun, as well as that you're getting your vitamin D. Also adding in the magnesium, the
minerals,
the minerals to your water. I try to do that every day, add some sort of minerals to my water, so I'm getting my minerals. And also the green tea.
Yes, I was wondering if you were going to remember. So green tea, really important during perimenopause and menopause, been shown to boost metabolism by, I think, almost 6%. So it can really make a huge difference in weight loss. So what about perimenopause makes it harder to lose weight? Do you remember, like, what are the things that start to happen that we can improve upon as you enter into perimenopause and menopause?
Well, your estrogen levels drop.
Yep,
And when your estrogen levels drop, your metabolism slows. You lose muscle mass. So
exactly.
that's where the weights come in handy to build that muscle mass back up, because it really does boost your metabolism, or even resistance and strength training can do that as well. But yeah, you do lose estrogen as your hormones fluctuate and start dropping off with being in the perimenopause.
Yeah, testosterone also decreases. So how
Mhm.
do we replenish that muscle mass? Two different things, right? Protein,
Mhm.
resistance. We need those two things in perimenopause and menopause to be successful on a weight loss journey. It's just a non-negotiable, in my
Yes,
opinion, especially
absolutely.
the protein. Even if you don't do
Mhm.
resistance training, really focus on that 20 grams of protein with your meals. Really, really important. Okay, I think we covered everything. So if somebody was on the fence about joining the program, because a lot of people are, it is a big financial commitment. What would you tell them, like to steer them towards the program or away from the program for that matter? Like, what are some things that they should consider, if they're deciding to potentially join?
I would say if you're like me, who's tried almost, I shouldn't say everything out there, but I've done a lot of different plans. I won't name them, but a lot of different plans that included macros. I had a very hard time with macros, trying to figure out, weighing the food. I'd spend so much time trying to nail that, and it was too much for me. It's too time consuming. I would say you need to do this because if you are looking to balance your hormones, even if you're younger, um, it's to me, it was so much easier, and it was so much less stressful. I mean, you do think about, okay, I do need to hit um, your protein goals, or are you taking your
Mhm.
supplements, or certain things that you want to implement, but it becomes, after a while, it just becomes second nature. You kind of know what you need, and you just make sure you have those on hand, and it's easy. So
Mhm.
I would say if you're on the fence, this would be the program for you, because it's much more sustainable and easier than any plan I've done before. And it worked, and it's
Yeah,
still working, and I'm going to
yeah.
continue on. So
So how many pounds have you
definitely
lost? Let's share the people, which is so exciting. You joined the
10-pound club.
10-pound club. So
Yes,
proud of you.
yes,
And
that's
you worked really
exciting.
hard. And you've shown up for yourself. You show up every week. You showed up for my office hours. You showed up to pretty much every call, unless you were out of town. You still would rewatch the recorded ones. I mean, you've really put in the work. So you have a lot to be proud of, Holly.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, I don't want to start a plan and not finish it. I like to I like to follow through. And I would say for those that, we're all busy, we all have different things going on in our lives. But this is for yourself. And I've learned over the years to really start putting myself, I don't want to say first, but you
No,
really
you
do need
should put yourself
self-care.
first.
You
You
should.
should,
You should.
without shame. I mean, truthfully, you have to be your best self to serve anybody in your life, whether it's your husband, your partner, your kids, your work, your job. You have to be functioning at your best and able in order to serve anybody in your life. So you have to make yourself a priority throughout this process. And I feel like you've done such a beautiful job at that, of really being able to prioritize yourself and teaching the other ladies, which I think that the younger ladies in the group have the hardest time with
Mhm.
putting themselves first, which I don't know
Mhm.
what the reason is behind that. I think it's just a cultural thing that women feel like they need to be everything and do everything. And we're really scared to stand up for ourselves and say no. That's why I love like the Simone Biles piece. That, I mean, it's like such an inspiration of like, I'm putting myself first, I'm putting my needs first, and I don't really care what anyone is going to say or think. And I hope that that starts to
True.
trickle into culture more, of like really standing up for what your needs are, and advocating for yourself, which most women do not do.
No, they
And
don't. It's so key, because we're so used to doing everything for everybody. And when you learn to put yourself first, if you can't be good for yourself, you're not going to be good for anybody else, because it will catch up to you. You will slow down, and it definitely does. So put yourself first, and then you can be good for everybody else and what you need to do. But it's definitely make yourself a priority. It's worth it.
It's so worth it. It's so worth it. And then you impact your kids, you impact your partner, you impact, there's such a trickle effect to healing that is so beautiful. Like, have you noticed just with your friends or your family that they've started to pick up on certain things about you that have shifted and have inspired them potentially? Because I feel like usually when you're going through that healing process, other people start to notice and you start to inspire the world around you. So you're not just healing yourself, you're truly like healing the world. I mean, you're part of that cascade, which is so incredible and beautiful. And that's why I love the group program, because you guys see one person doing the work and healing, and it inspires you to also get there. So yeah,
Absolutely.
any comments on that?
Because,
I mean, that's
yes,
so
no,
key.
it's true, because I've noticed that I share a lot of your posts. I put them on my story, just because I think they're informative and they're good for people to know. And I know so many people that could use these tips, especially on sunlight and eating with the sun cycle and getting your circadian rhythm down and sleeping better and all of those tips. So I share them a lot. And I've noticed since I've been doing that some of my friends on my Instagram are now following you. So a lot of women my age are wanting those tips and wanting to know what to do to feel better, because I'm sure there's plenty people out there that are going through the stage that I'm going through, or even if they're not, they could be going through other things that doing this would definitely be a big improvement for their health and their life.
Yeah. And it's really just getting back to basics. I think sometimes we're grasping for straws of like what supplement to take and like what testing to have done. It's like, really, if you get back to the basics of the way we're supposed to live, that's where transformation happens. It's not going to be in a pill. It's not going to be in a supplement. It's like getting sunshine. I mean, it's so simple. Our biology is like a plant. Like, we need good hydration, we need sunlight, we need good fertilizer, like good gut health. That's where you'll find health. It's not going to be in a specific supplement or doing like crazy testing. Even though I do crazy testing, a lot of people still want the crazy testing. But I don't think it's necessary. If you get back to the basics, like, you will find health, you will find healing in many different aspects of your life, physically, emotionally, and spiritually for that matter. So holistic approach is where it's at, is my final my final statement on that. Well, Holleigh, I'm so incredibly
and I
proud
concur.
of you. And thank you so much for being here today. And I have no doubt you're going to inspire so many women. And you guys, if you want my free menopause guide, make sure to click the link below this video. It's going to get sent straight to your inbox. And I think it's 6 different tips to focus on in perimenopause and menopause. All right, you guys, until next time, talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.